Hey everybody, this is a demonstration of the Disaster Area Designs DMC-4 Generation 2. It is this pedal right here, and it is a MIDI controller that will send signal to different MIDI-enabled pedals. Specifically, the ones I'm using today would be the Timeline and the Bigsky. If you look on most gear forums or YouTube videos, you'll see that combination of the Timeline and the Bigsky on a lot of boards out there. And so the DMC-4 is great because it makes the navigation and operation of those two pedals a lot smoother. For me, I primarily play in churches and lead worship from electric guitar, and so I find that it's hard for me to kind of navigate through some of these pedals on the fly while leading worship. And so, you know, like trying to like scroll up and down to banks, you know, I messed up the majority of the time and didn't end up on the right preset. So for me, the DMC has been awesome to just simplify that a lot. And so it does a ton of different things. I'm just going to show you the handful of things I'm using it for. But for the full list of its features and functions, please go to their website, Disaster Areas. So the first thing that I'm going to show you is the scrolling option for the presets. Again, it's kind of a pain to have to bank up and down, you know, and then get to your preset. And what this does is this kind of takes that out of the picture, and I can just scroll straight through my presets up or down. You can also set this up to scroll through banks the same way I'm scrolling through presets. And it's nice because you can also see on this LED screen that, like right now I'm on, you know, bank 11 preset B, which is nice. So you can just kind of see exactly where you're at. And then the same thing works with the Bigsky, where if I hit this mode button again, now I'm in B mode, you know, patch or bank 0, patch C. And so you can, again, kind of scroll through all of these. Again, you can set it up to do bank mode the same. The other thing that I really like about it is that if you hit this button again, I've got it set up to go to a preset mode, and the preset is combinations of different patches you have on both of these pedals that you can program to different presets on the DMC-4. And so for me, I've got a handful of sounds that are kind of my go-to sounds for different scenarios. The first one just being a simple verb and delay echo that, you know, aren't really in the way, that you can kind of just play for anything, you know. What's really nice is now I can scroll to this next one that's crazy big ambient, you know. What you saw me just do is, there are times if I'm at a preset, you know, of 3 or 4, and I want to get back to 1, but I don't want to scroll through each individual one and kind of have it change sounds each one. As you can hold this button down for a second and get to the one you want, hold it down for 1 more second and switch and bypass everything in between, which is nice. The other thing that's cool about the DMC-4 is that it accepts input for like an expression pedal or knob or tap. I have a roller knob from Dan Burgess. This one's mine. And I have it running into the DMC-4. And then in the setup, you can actually choose what devices this works for. I have it just affecting the big sky. I have it affecting the mix level. And I will tell you why in just a second. The multi-tap here is just run to the back of the timeline, and so that works just for the timeline. What's really cool about this is this fourth button is a hold button that works as a freeze for the big sky. And so with the big sky, if you hold down one of the preset buttons, it'll freeze until you let go of it. This is a latching freeze, which is really nice if you want to create drones and not stand on the pedal the whole time. And so an example of that, and then using this, would be to control the level of that frozen note. So I'll just give you an example real fast. Yeah, and then if you let off that button, it'll kind of turn off the hold feature. So really, really cool. I know for me, if I'm doing ambient stuff, that drone can sometimes get too loud. It's nice to be able to just adjust the volume. Again, so I have it set up to control just the mix level of the verb. But you can do just a ton of different things with it. The pedal can do a whole bunch more. It does a lot of different looping features for the timeline that I'm not going to go into because I don't use them, but basically like starting and stopping and recording the looper, half speed and reverse on the looper, and then looper volume up and down, which is pretty cool. It'll also work with a ton of other MIDI pedals, Eventide, Chase Audio, a couple others. And so also, if you go to their website, they've got just a ton of other programmable like bypass loopers and bigger versions of this that just do a million things. So, and Matthew and his team there at Disaster Area is really, really cool just to talk to. I had a ton of questions before getting this that were probably annoying and seemed redundant, and they were great at just answering all my questions. And just being really patient and cool with me. So you should definitely check them out if you have one of these pedals, like one of the Big Skies or the Timelines, because they're really cool to work with, and it really does make navigating all this stuff a lot easier just to have it here. So it can be as complex as you want it to be, and it can be as simple as you want it to be. But definitely check them out. They're great guys, and they make great products. So thank you, and I hope that this helps you if you're curious on how the DMC works with these two pedals. There wasn't a ton out there when I was looking for this, so I hope this helps somebody else. Thanks.